Our last story has to do with the almighty Naira. You know, any and every effort at arresting the national currency, the Naira, from drifting further must not be spared. A member of the National Assembly, Senator Nwoko, proposed a motion and bill before the Senate as they were out of the currency mess. The Delta-born lawmaker has called for the immediate prohibition of the use of foreign currencies in our shores. Recall that President Bola Tinubu had elected to float the foreign exchange to enable its value to be determined by market forces. But Senator Nwoko, a member of the 10th National Assembly, believes that making the Naira the only legal tender would arrest its free fall. Debatable?
I think I am personally impressed by the profile of Ted Nwoko. You know, he's been in the parliament for a long time. He's a seasoned lawyer, respected all over the world.
He started from the House of Reps.
Yes, and he was instrumental to the Paris Club refund. The reason I even went to court to challenge the federal government on funds that were supposed to be returned to the state. And his position, you know, justifies the fact that you don't need to be in APC before you can offer constructive criticism to the government. That as one country, we must strive to share, to realize that we have shared vision, irrespective of the political party that we belong to. I think his suggestions are progressive. They may be radical, yeah.
Amen.
Yeah, because I believe those are the steps that the federal government needs to take. One of the major steps that the Nigerian government needs to take in order to be able to save the Naira from free fall. You know, people talk about this idea of free market economy. That's really nothing. Like all over the world, governments intervene when they notice that things are going wrong. Even in the US, in the most advanced capitalist societies. So the idea of, I think I was already in the university before I saw the dollar or pounds for the first time. We had a program here, somebody called me from Norway. He said there was a visit from his friends in US. When they were leaving, they now gave the children $100 each. He said the children were looking at, what is this? They've never seen it before in Norway. Because the Norwegian money is what everybody knows.
Yeah.
Nobody, the children said, what are we going to, and actually he couldn't do anything with it. He had to bring that money to Nigeria to come out. So he's making some suggestions, which I think the government should listen to him. He's talking that accounts should be in Naira. I think Nigerians were not used to having domiciliary accounts until not too long ago.
Yeah.
Now, I'm sure some people have millions of dollars, you know, in domiciliary account, or, you know, and I think this is a major challenge for us. He's also saying that hoarding of dollars, people should be given 48 hours to return that fund. It's not going to be easy because the people that are in charge of this are rulers of darkness, principalities and powers, very influential people.
That our economy itself became dollarized is a crime.
It's a crime. You know, you find yourself in a situation where you can go to Ikeja. If I have $20,000 now, I can go and shake it at Ikeja. Nobody asks me, what is the source of your money? In other countries, if you want to change $50, $20, $10, the first thing, where is your passport? They collect all your details. So they can monitor, you know, the inflow and outflow of currency. But here, I think the Minister of Finance cannot even tell us how much dollars we have in circulation in Nigeria.
Yeah.
People bring in dollars in cash.
I hear, rightly or wrongly, that ours is the only country where the dollar is hawked, like you are hawking.
You know, you pay some expatriates in dollars, some hotels, you have to pay in dollars. So, and how will your Naira, how will your currency be strong when people are, they are less anxious to spend your money? Yeah. If you give dollars to anybody now, instead of Naira, he will prefer it. Because that is the, you know, and if you look at what is happening all over the world, you know, people talk about dollar everywhere. The dollar is not the strongest currency in the world. It's actually the Kuwaiti dinar. There are about 5 currencies that are stronger than the dollar. And there are a lot of countries that are now de-dollarizing their economy for reasons that, you know, they just think that they want to make their economy to grow. So, but I think his suggestions are not enough. We also need to grow the local economy. Look at this thing, you know. This is toothpick imported from China. I bought this one 2 days ago. 700 Naira. Why on earth should we import toothpick? a country that had independence in 1960.
And why in the name of Nigeria, Wale, did you buy it?
No, I wanted to buy it to come and showcase it here. 700 naira. Yeah. And if you go to shops, shops and everything, you see shoes, you see ties, you see even ceramic products imported from China, from Asia. How will your economy grow when you are importing toothpick? This thing is made from bamboo. We can produce it in Nigeria. So we
have
need
bamboo here.
Yeah, we have bamboo here. So you cannot be talking about improving the quality of the naira when everything you import is from abroad. And some people allow this to happen.
Chris, say whatever you like. One sure way of arresting the dwindling fortunes of the Naira, the national currency, is to go back into aggressive production. That's all. And foreign exchange.
Number one.
And show up the value of your Naira.
Yeah. That's a simple economics. Produce more, exports, and more.
Yeah.
And so all we've been doing now, for me, I would just call in the local parlance, just cut and sew. You know, cut and sew. You know, Bioma. You remember in the days of Obioma?
Oh, yeah.
The normal Obioma now. I used to carry the Igbo, I used to carry the machine. That's one machine.
Shop.
Sorry, what do you call it?
Ijikani
shop. That's what we are doing now. We are patching and patching and patching. We are treating what you back calls lapa, dandruff, instead of the headache. All these issues, yes, they are just fundamental, but the basic things. But we need to hit.
But Chris, you know, I know Wale remembers that the Naira in the 80s used to be exchangeable at the other.
It's more than the dollar. It's more than the dollar. Even the. But let me bust your bubble. Good enough. This is coming from Senator Nwoko. But let me also tell you that you know that most of our politicians now no longer spend Naira.
Yeah.
They carry dollars in their pockets. They don't give you, if you go there, they don't give you Naira.
I remember Jide would cynically say, if you want to arrest the dollar, go to Abuja, break into people's homes.
I'm telling you, I said, they are spending. These same people that are talking that they want spending dollars. Can Wale and
including the lawmaker making this.
That's what I'm saying. I say politician is lawmaker, not a politician. Can Wale, with all modesty, can Wale and I boast of $5,000?
Where will get them?
Where won't get them? For this job, what would they do? Where won't get them? But that is chicken change on average. Yeah. They collect money. They are the one buying all these dollars. Even the so-called state governors, once they go to FAC, at the end of every FAC, they collect that money, do whatever the little they want to do. They convert it to dollars. Yeah. So we need to and keep it. So we need to change our attitude. It's our attitude that is causing the problem. Because ask yourself, I'm talking of legal, as far as I'm concerned, the only legal tender in Nigeria is Naira.
Yeah.
You cannot go to the woman that is selling pepper and tomato and say, and give. I just came back from Cote d'Ivoire. I went to AFCON. Citizen, you cannot spend dollars in Cote d'Ivoire, at all. You can't. If you want to do that, you have to go to a bureau de change. Just as I said, they ask you for your passport. You present your passport. I was in Canada also 2 years ago. Canada has their own, they have Canadian dollar.
Yeah.
You cannot spend the American dollar in you.
Close as Canada is to the US.
No, you can't. Which is just New York and Toronto are just next. You can't spend it there. Nobody will collect it from you. So why is this that we've just gone so bad that everything about Nigeria is dollar.
We are making very wrong choices.
We are making serious wrong choices. And if you don't, all the measures being put in place, look at all that that CBN have done so far. Even with the BDCs, it's not working. The former deputy governor of Central Bank, Mogalu, a few days ago, said that it's not run after cryptos or whatever they call them that is the problem. Go after the banks. Like if you go after the banks, you get to the bottom of this. This. 2 Nigerian banks were just in Ghana 2 days ago. We are specifically stopped from participating in forex transactions. That goes trading. That goes to show that the problem is endemic. Until we be able to, and why that is why we call on President Bola Ahmed Tinubu, who has decided to take the bull by the horn by going all out and making whoever is behind this problem. Most parents cannot pay their school fees of their children that are abroad.
Yeah.
And we see how a lot of people trying to do a job. Finally, Citizen, for you to do a JAPA through academics now, you need 50 million proof of fund. Are you aware of that?
Naira or dollar?
Naira, no.
Wale, and people have quarreled with this floating of the currency.
Yeah.
You think it was a good decision by Mr. President?
You see, we have a lot of good decisions, but at the end of the day, in terms of technicalities, in terms of implementation, we will discover that, those things don't actually reflect what the president says. Yeah. Very good statements, policy statements, but on paper, we are talking about banning 4,173 BDCs. But go to Kenya, go to Shomolu, people are still selling dollars on the street.
Go to Ireland there now.
Go to Ireland, go to
in my environment.
Yes. How did you want to monitor dollars in circulation? So, and just like I said, the banks, they are, those people with ties big to, they are feeding on the blood of innocent Nigerians. And declaring profits, billions every year.
Yeah, they declare profit at the end of the year.
They are the masterminds of this crisis that we are having. And that is why.
So the problem is basically arrestable.
Yeah, we can deal with the problem. We understand the problem. If we have the political will, we can deal with this problem decisively. And Nigeria will prosper in a way that will shock the whole world.
But to think that this same Nigeria used to be the darling, used to be a go-to country years and years ago.
Yeah, not only, yes. Let me give a certain example. There were in the days that Indians and so many people from outside the country, from most part of Africa, they are coming to school at University of Ibadan.
Oh, yeah.
You know that very well.
Even secondary school.
Igbobi College, which also I attended, we had many classmates
many
from
foreign
West African countries and foreign countries coming.
Paying,
that dollars are now in foreign currencies now. We're talking.
Yes.
You go to King's College, you go to Baptist Academy. I'm talking about the ones in Lagos, CMS Grammar School. You will see most of these foreign. In fact, it got
also remember the youth corps, the American youth corps.
Of course,
they taught at secondary schools.
Citizen Joe in the 80s, I had secondary school teachers from Ghana. They were all here. Indians were coming here to teach. At what point did
my English teacher was an Indian.
My mathematics teacher was a Ghanaian, and he taught me so well. And then what do you have the reverse? Now, we are the one running to Ghana, going as little as Cotonou, to Benin here, go to university. Then you ask yourself, what is the problem? It's a fundamental problem, which we have to treat, because it's getting worse by the day. Last year, how much was the dollar to Naira? How much is it today? And I can tell you that if care is not taken, Governor, what's his name? Obaseki, about a year ago, or thereabout, warned. Then Naira was just about 500. If we don't take time the way we are going, that the Naira was going to go to 1,000. Nobody believed him. It is about 1,005 today. And if care is not taken, before we get to July, it will hit 2,000.
So Senator Ned Nwoko has come out. He's in the at the village square.
Truly patriotic Nigerian. Somebody whose presence in that Senate is not just to go and warm the chair. It's an asset to Africa. It's an asset to Nigeria. No matter what political party he belongs to, the federal government should listen to him. And I think he also said about bringing back our foreign reserve, $40 billion. Why are you keeping it abroad? If there is a bureaucratic road, these funds could be seized. Other countries don't have foreign reserve. Italy, Greece, all of them. Bring this money home, invest the money. Why are you keeping it abroad? So I think the federal government should listen. If I happen to be close to the president, I would say, put this man in your economic team. So I think I'm impressed by his consistency over the years. These are the kind of leaders we should look up to.
For me, it is let us walk the talk. We've talked enough. Let us start putting into place what we need to do. And to be able to, because we cannot continue discussing this issue of dollar, as if there's nothing. I'm telling you, and nothing is being done about it. The CBN have done as much they can. The Minister of Finance have done as much he could under the circumstances. We've arrested people. The one is the Binance. Two executives of that organization we have been arrested and are still in detention. Now they're asking Nigerians to pull out their Naira that they are pulling out of Naira. If that is going to solve the problem, well and good. We have to close our eyes and take certain tough decisions.
But on the long run, we can go back there. go back to producing
If
goods.
production is, that is number one, of course, I said
That's-
earlier. That is just it.
They call it economics
And
101.
not
That
just
is it.
consuming those things, we must be prepared to also consume those items. If
Yes.
we have learners that came to Nigeria in 1953, why should people buy shoes, import shoes? Why should government officials import shoes? Immigration, customs, why can't they go to learners instead of bringing their shoes from abroad? Or Bata that came in 1932.
And
What of the
happily,
what of the person-
What of
happily
vehicles they are
separate
using?
your
Innocent
assembly
is
here.
there.
Wale, happily, there's good news coming from Chris's part of the country.
Yes,
Yeah.
which is
Abia.
yeah.
Electricity has come to Abia.
Yeah.
And I hear Bath Naji says the target is to wake up the Aba.
Yes, SMEs. within
Yes,
the-
industrial hub.
Yes, the
Yeah.
SMEs. It's
So
good news.
it can be done.
It can be done.
Great news.
It can
One
be done.
individual.
Yes.
If an individual can do it, what are we talking about?
It can be done. All we
Or
just
the southwest, entire southwest, southeast. You can't provide your railways. You can't provide your electricity. I will spend just 8 years in power, and today those milestones are there since 1999 or 1960. Compare with those 8 years. What Zik did. Look at UNN. How many universities have been built that can compare with UNN in the entire of Eastern Nigeria? The same thing with IFE. The same thing with ABU.
and that is why
Within 8 years.
And,
So what
and
are we
citizen,
talking about?
This is a country that is struggling with light. I don't know how good.
Yeah.
Anyway, we say the same as it's when we talk about. So you should
Okay,
know better.
I hear we must go. And gentlemen, we are still unashamedly importing refined palm oil,
Yeah. And only palm.
of all things.
I said Gary said we are importing. Do you know that we're importing Gary from Cotonou and China now? Are you
Okay,
aware?
I hear we must pack it all in, but not
we
before
keep on
thanking.
talking. We keep on talking.
Not before thanking Wale Adeoye for your time,
Thank you.
and Chris Kehinde Wandu. Many thanks for your time.
Thank you very much for having me.
So that will just. Oh, by the way, one of us, Tunde Abaton, is having his birthday today.